Hi, Miss Cindy here. For this makeup is for audition 1 and audition 2 class. Um, you can kind of get an idea. I'm going to just go through a very quick demonstration. Pretty easy makeup since we're going to be putting on our masks, and I'll show you how we're going to do that in a minute. So first thing, here's a little tip. It is a good idea to use any kind of moisturizer before you get going with the makeup for a couple of reasons. Um, the main reason, one of the main reasons is the makeup goes on smoother, but probably a more important reason to you is that the makeup will come off easier, um, and you won't have the staining on your face if you having the moisturizer will kind of give it extra barrier protection. So, okay, so I put the moisturizer on, and then hopefully, if we're next thing is our Cadaver Gray foundation. If you haven't ordered one, we will have some in your area for your class. And what you can do is we'll scoop it out so we're not sharing, and we'll put it in a little container like this. And you can bring your own sponge with you, and then you can just take the foundation and we're going to put it on our forehead, all over our forehead, and on your eye. This is going to give us our ghosty kind of look with our foundation. So when the lights are on it, it's not just white, it has kind of a fun gray tone to kind of a little more ghouly kind of makeup. And we don't have to put it all over because we have our masks that are going to cover here, so we don't have to do any of this part. It will be a good idea to maybe do a little bit on the side where the mask shows. I'll show you in a minute. And then if you can just blend it easily onto your neck just a little bit, just to kind of help so it doesn't go straight to from there to like your natural skin. So we'll go in there. Good. Okay. Now, another little tip before we start putting the other colors on that we're using is I have a little shaker powder that I just shake into my little tray. It doesn't have to be a shaker one. It just, you need some kind of powder to set what you're doing here. This is kind of a white powder, like a white translucent powder. It doesn't have to be white, just as long as it's like a translucent color, so you still have your other things on. And when you use this, the shadows and stuff that you're going to be putting on will go on easier because we're going to use powdered shadows. So, but you can see my eyebrow looks very light right now. So after you do that, this is like a black-brown pencil. You can use black or black-brown. And we're just going to take and do it really strong. The dark eyebrow kind of helps continue to create the kind of spooky, scary look that we're going for. We're going to put that on. You don't need to spend a lot. You can go to Big Lots or any of those kind of even some of the dollar stores, and you can get darker eyebrow pencils. And same with the liner that we're going to do in a second too. So see, there we go. Now it's a little stronger for stage too. And the next thing that I'm going to do, you can see we have this black around. You can get L'Oreal makes one, Maybelline makes one, I think e.l.f. makes one too. I have a palette here that has a whole bunch of different colors in it, but we're going to go for like a dark black kind of charcoaly color. And I have a brush like this that you can use sponge tip applicator, whatever works best for you while you're applying things. And I'm just going to take this I'm going to strong part of it like right underneath the eye, and that powder underneath helps kind of to blend it a little bit. And then so you want the darkest part like right by the part of the eye, and then you just start to blend it kind of like circular in this hollow part of your eye here. And then you want to go ahead and put it on this part, on the eyelid, and kind of all the way up to about here. And sometimes once I'm done with that, I like to take the powder brush that I was using and just kind of go around the edges and just help it kind of blend back in so it looks, there you go, so it stays on too. You can always take, and if you take a little too much off, just take and put a little bit stronger right in there. Okay, you can bring it a little bit here on the nose, just like that, on either side, just because the mask will come about to here, so that will work. And then next, I think I'll do my white eyeshadow. So I showed you the black. You can have like a white highlighter color. Okay, and you can use your sponge tip or another little brush like this. I'm going to use my sponge tip for the white to kind of get a stronger. If you put that right there, what that does is it helps the eyebrow to stand out, and it also helps this part look more dark. Okay, now there's one thing we haven't done yet, and that is eyeliner. There it is. e.l.f. makes a really good like pen eyeliner thing like this. It's when you're putting makeup on the kiddos, sometimes it goes on easier than using like an eye pencil, but an eye pencil is totally fine too. And if you really have problems with it, you probably could skip this part, but it really does make it stand out more if you, and usually I don't have us go all the way into the corner, but since we're doing the ghostly kind of look, I'm going to get this all the way around there and all the way across. It's interesting to do this on the computer. And that just gives it like an extra added spooky here. Okay, we're pretty close to being done. It's really pretty quick. And then, oh, well, our mask is going to go on. The part that, depending on how your mask is, I noticed that we could maybe just take a little bit of the black and put it kind of in those corners if we want to. And actually, if you're having a problem with a smaller brush, you can just take and use a bigger brush and do it really quick around the eyes like that too. Okay, so now we have our kind of spooky look. And then we'll have our mask on, so like I said, we don't have to worry about any of this area. And here we go. And that's our ancestor look. They'll have their hair kind of mess you up, tease you up, and then we'll have this white spray that we can spray when they get there. And we're just gonna like spritz the white spray on just so it just kind of gives it a little bit of more spooky, like dusty look, like they come out of the tomb. So that is it. If you have any questions, you can ask me at the theater. All right, thanks. I'm excited for the show.